The topic of UFOs and aliens is a personal favourite. We spend many hours staring up at the night sky, just wondering what's out there and hoping to see something. Now, although we've never had any of our own personal experiences to date, we have spent hundreds of hours researching UFO topics over the years. In this video, we want to explore 5 instances where the photographic or video evidence of the anomaly seems to defy explanation and really does make you wonder if alien life not only exists, but has been to visit us humans here on Earth. Let's take a look. Now, before we begin, as always, hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy. The Pilot UFO. This video was released in 2022. Pilot George A. Arteaga recorded footage while flying a Cessna plane at an altitude of 12,500 feet over Antioquia, Colombia. The video captures an unidentified object speeding through the sky in broad daylight, passing by the cockpit window at an astonishing speed that Arteaga recorded on his phone. Take a look. The object appears to be light in colour and pointed at one end. Arteaga would later claim that he and his co-pilot had spotted the anomaly floating in the air between the cities of Medellin and Santa Fe before it drastically picked up speed. The pair had originally wanted to follow the UFO, but later abandoned the search after it suddenly turned and began to hurtle towards them. When the footage emerged online, commenters were quick to point out that it looked like just another runaway balloon or random piece of debris. However, Arteaga was adamant that at the height he was flying, it was too cold for a balloon to survive, and it didn't appear to be a drone or an aeroplane, and was totally different to anything he'd seen before. The recording caught the attention of controversial ufologist Jamie Mawson, the Mexican journalist who promoted claims of supposed alien remains in Peru that have turned out to be hoaxes. Despite this, Arteaga sat down with Mawson to discuss what he saw and told him that the object moved with something totally unknown, without means of propulsion, with movement that he considered as intelligent. Mawson later claimed it was the greatest UAP evidence of all time. It's a bold claim, and whether or not you believe the clip is a UFO or floating piece of rubbish depends on what your stance is on alien life. Let us know your thoughts on this one below. The New York UFO. On October 13th, 2010, thousands of New Yorkers going about their daily lives pointed to the sky as a highly illuminated mysterious flying object flew above them. The sight prompted several 311 calls, claiming a UFO was flying above the Chelsea district of the city. The bright object seemed to divide into several smaller objects and then slowly move together again. Take a look at this footage posted by CBS News. Initially it looks like 3 white balloons tied together, but as the clip progresses, they all separate and then appear to come back together before more appear. Witnesses of the objects that day have commented on the video, with one describing it as an insane experience. They said, "For those suggesting that these were just weather balloons, trust me, they were not. What the footage fails to capture is that as the event continued, more of these objects appeared, forming various shapes and moving closer together, only to quickly disperse while hovering. Suddenly they vanished in a way I can only describe as cartoonish, much like when the Roadrunner would quickly run off screen, leaving only smoke behind." Another witness said that they watched the objects for over 30 minutes, insisting that they were not balloons. They were not tied together, they moved away from each other, then back together, as if in formation, and they remained in the area for over an hour. They were also very bright, as they had been illuminated from inside. The phenomenon prompted dozens of calls, but city officials had no answers, and not even the Federal Aviation Administration could explain the spectacle, saying they were not weather balloons and were nothing they could account for. Despite the papers reporting wildly on the incident, no explanation was ever offered. Adding to the mystery, a former Air Force officer had predicted 4 months before the incident on a UFO website that an alien craft would visit major cities on October 13th, saying, "The aliens will reveal themselves in a massive uniform display over our principal cities, and I predict this will happen on October 13th, 2010. The date of this incident, as you know, was October 13th, 2010. So was this a coincidence? Did he have insider information? Or was this a hoax, and was he the one responsible? UFO Laser. Tom DeLonge is best known as the co-founder, co-lead vocalist and guitarist of the rock band Blink-182, but he also has a strong belief in UFOs and aliens, something that has interested him since he was a child. So when he posted this video to his Instagram account on February 4th, 2023, with the caption, "Enjoy, they are real," people took notice. Take a look at the video. Tom also noted that the whirling sound was from the propulsion. Many of the commenters were amazed the footage had not made the news, believing that it was solid evidence of some kind of alien craft. There were others who claimed that they also witnessed something similar, saying it was exactly the same shape and moved faster than anything they had seen before. We did some research behind this footage and discovered there is footage out there of something very similar. On October 27th, 2013 in Michigan, this video was captured. In the very same year and month, this was also captured in Lithia Springs. And again, this one in Cleveland, Ohio. The most recent sighting was on November 21st, 2021 at around 2 p.m. GMT in Alberta, Canada. There has been speculation that the mysterious object may have been created by a laser beam originating from the underside of a drone. This theory does gain credence, particularly since 2013 was the pivotal year when drones transitioned from military exclusivity to being accessible to the general public. However, despite being plausible, this explanation has never been formally confirmed in connection to any of the reported sightings. In truth, these sightings have been largely ignored and not drawn much attention. So until anything different is proposed, these are unidentified flying objects, airborne phenomena that cannot be immediately identified or explained. What do you make of this extraordinary footage? The best UFO photo in history. We're now going to show you two similar photographs, both captured in Wisconsin, although taken 4 years apart. The first reported sighting was shared online by an anonymous female witness who was visiting a friend in Wyowega. To protect her friend's privacy, she was reluctant to reveal the exact location, but mentioned that it was generally north of Main Street on the east side of Highway 110, south of the train tracks. At the time, her son was sledding in the snow, and she was taking photos of him. It was late evening, and darkness was setting in quickly. While they were outside, her son pointed to the sky, where they both saw a balloon-like object with lights. The woman quickly took photos as the object passed directly over them. The lights were changing erratically, and as it moved overhead, she realized the shape was more like a disc than a balloon, leaving her and her son puzzled about what they had just witnessed. Fast forward to January 2007, again in Wisconsin, but this time near Green Bay, a very similar looking object was photographed and sent to the UFO Evidence website. There is very little information on either of these photographs, and many have questioned the authenticity of both of them. Some believe that the photos have been manipulated using Photoshop and are fake, although at that time, you would have to be fairly skilled to manipulate an image in that way. The other theory is that maybe a propelled object with lights attached was launched by whoever took the photo, possibly a toy of some description, similar to a Star Trek Enterprise model. Drones have also been mentioned, but it's worth remembering that in 2007, only military drones were available, and they do not look like military drones. Despite all of the theories, the photographs haven't been completely debunked. We'd love to know your thoughts on this one. Phillip Spencer's alien encounter and photograph. Ilkley Moor, located in Yorkshire, England, is a large conservation area and a popular destination for walkers and tourists that offer breathtaking views of the Yorkshire Dales. It is surrounded by fascinating stories of strange creatures and mysterious lights that appear in the fog, and to add to the intrigue, it is near RAF Menwith Hill, a top-secret military base often referred to as the UK's Area 51. A strange-looking facility that is protected by large 30-foot spheres designed to monitor any external threats. Given this context, it's perhaps not surprising that the moor is the site of one of the most extraordinary alien encounters in Great British history. On December 1st, 1987, retired British police officer Phillip Spencer left his home early in the morning to meet his father-in-law, who lived the other side of Ilkley Moor. It was still dark when he said goodbye to his wife and children. The fog hadn't lifted, and Spencer used a compass to guide him through the murky air. He was also armed with a camera, as he was hoping to capture the beautiful sights of the moor as the sun started to rise. However, what he actually captured was not the beauty of the moor, but something entirely different. As he passed through an area called White Wells, he was distracted by something, and as he looked through the mist, he saw a creature with long arms, similar in shape to a sock monkey. The creature that was looking directly at him appeared to move its right arm as if it was waving, and that was the moment Spencer pulled out his camera and took this photograph. Shortly after the shot was taken, the entity disappeared. Spencer described the creature as having big black eyes, pointed ears, and strangely long arms, with hoof-like feet split into two toes. He tried to follow the creature, hoping to find out what it was, but unfortunately it moved out of sight. But what he did see was a dome-shaped spacecraft that rose from the moor and disappeared into the sky. Feeling slightly confused, he continued on to his father-in-law's village. But when he arrived and saw the time on the church clock was 10 AM, he realized that he had lost 2 hours somewhere en route and had no idea why. He questioned whether he had imagined the entire experience. However, his doubts were dispelled when he processed the photographs he had taken and saw the creature exactly as he remembered it. The negative of the photograph was later examined by various experts who found no signs of tampering. However, the strangeness did not end there. Spencer started experiencing odd but very real dreams in which he kept seeing a starry sky. These were so vivid and constant that he was later advised to go under hypnosis to see if he could revisit what happened that day. Under hypnosis, he recalled how the creature approached him just before he took the photograph. He remembered it was quite windy, and the creature, which was green, moved closer and closer to him. He found himself frozen to the spot, unable to move. Then everything went fuzzy, and he was floating in the air, while the green creatures walked ahead of him. He then saw a big silver saucer thing, with a door on it, that he doesn't want to go into. Then everything goes black. He also remembered that he had been examined by the creatures inside the ship, and they showed him a movie on a disaster that would occur if people did not stop population growth and pollution. After that, he was returned back to the moor with no memory of his abduction. It's worth pointing out that Phillip Spencer did not earn fame and money from his story, and he is one of the few abductees who showed evidence to prove his encounter. We'd love to know your thoughts on this one. Did Spencer really capture a genuine image of an alien creature, or was the whole thing made up? So that's it for this video. If you have some spare time this evening, and it's a clear sky, take some time to stare up at the night sky. You've probably gone many years without doing this, and you never know what you're going to see. Thanks for watching, keep searching, and I'll see you in the next video.